Hey guys, we're going to talk today about the two most important things when selling a home. Stay tuned to the end and get a chance to hear all about it. Real quick, guys, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I just want to say if you got any real estate needs whatsoever, whether it's buying or selling here in the Pikes Peak region, and that's all the way from the Colorado Springs area, all the way up into the Teller County area and the areas surrounding the Pikes Peak Mountains, please don't hesitate to reach out to my team and I. We're the GMC Mountain Homes team, and we are your local mountain real estate experts. We are experts that live in this area, that service this area, that play in this area. We love this area, and we want to help anybody that's looking at moving or buying or selling out here or anything else that you've got question-wise. We are here. Please ask us. Use us as a resource. That's what we've spent all this time building on here, has become your resource for whatever you're looking at doing here. Even if it's just visiting and vacationing and you've got questions to ask about what to visit, check out. Don't forget, we got two free resources down below. We got the Buy Local Guide down below, and we have the Relocation Guide. Buy Local Guide's got all the different local vendors and everything that we recommend personally. The Relocation Guide has all the different stuff that you might not have even thought about moving out here to the Colorado area that we can then help you with. So please check out those two free resources. Plus, don't forget to hit that subscription button and that notification bell down below. Now, I hope this rain doesn't come through this video too much because it is pouring outside. You might hear some thunder and lightning too, but I want to get this video out to you guys. So I am videoing while it is definitely thunderstorming outside. So I apologize for that if you could hear that in the video because it's coming down. Hopefully it doesn't hail, but we'll kind of keep it going on this. Today, guys, I'm talking about the two things that are most important when you're selling your home. And it doesn't matter what market you're in. These are always two of the most important things you always have to look at. So you've got some agents that focus on one and not the other on there. And that's really one of those things that you need to combine together in order to get the most effective strategy for helping you sell your house. These two things are marketing and price, and they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other and have an easy sale or a quick sale or even just sell your home in general out there. The reason why these two go together and are so important is because, number one, on the marketing side, if nobody's seeing your home and nobody's seeing it in its best light and they're not going through it, they're not able to walk through it, either through a 3D virtual tour or through a video that goes through it or through professionally done photos or drone shots to be able to show what things look from the top, all these different things, that make it easy access to them with the landing page that they go into, all these things that they can actually go into and see the best highlights of your house. If they can't see that stuff and they're not getting it, then you're really just looking for a needle in a haystack when you're looking for a buyer. The marketing helps to push it out there to get it in front of all the folks that are looking in those areas. We have so many different things now with algorithms and the ways to actually work through the videos, the landing pages, and those professional photography that comes through that help highlight your home and get it out there and get it to the masses of folks that are looking at that price point in that area so that you can help show them something that might be a good fit for them. Very, very important to do that. Now, that is not the only thing that we do when we go through this, because the next most important step is also pricing. And I'm going to drive home this point really quick for you. So if you take a home that's only worth $200,000 and you market the heck out of it, I mean, shoot, you've got the Apple marketing team that's on there that's doing all their billions of dollars of marketing for your $200,000 home, but you list that home at $1 million, you're not going to get any views. Nobody's even going to pay attention to it. They're just going to skip right by it on there. And I give that massive price difference to drive that point home because it doesn't have to be a price difference that big to do that. Shoot, you could have that $200,000 home that should be listed right around that $200,000 mark and listed at $220,000, and the same effect happens on there as well. People just skip right by it. The only market that you might be able to get away with that in is one where it is such a hot seller's market that things are just flying off the shelves so quick that people can't keep up with it and buyers are just scrambling to find something. That's a very rare market. It doesn't happen very often. We just left that in 2022. It's gone. We might see one in another cycle, maybe 8 years from now. Who knows? But it's not right now, and it's not a normal market. You have to make sure your pricing is aligned with what the market is, and then have the marketing to be able to bring those folks in. That's super, super important, because when folks have 15 different homes that are in that price point of $200,000 and they've got to narrow it down, one of the first things they're going to do is do it based off price. That's one of the first things they're always going to do. That's what buyers do. I work with buyers all the time. And if you own that home, you at one point were a buyer as well. And maybe you're looking at buying somewhere else, and you're probably doing that same thing if the market is similar anywhere else you're looking at buying too. So you got to make sure you've got the same concept and you're looking at that same perception. Even though you're a seller, try to think of it in those buyer shoes. Like if I was a buyer, this is what I would be thinking right now on that. And that's super important because as you miss those and it becomes stale, it makes it very difficult to then recapture those that were looking at that price point. Because then they start wondering too, and this isn't fair. I know it's not fair. There's nothing wrong with your home. It was just priced a little bit higher because you were trying to get top dollar. I get it. I know and understand that on there. I understand what the seller psychology is on that. But then it sits for a while and a buyer sits there and goes, well, what's wrong with the house? There's something wrong with it because it's been sitting for a long time. And it's not fair as a seller. I know and understand that. And if the market continues to go down and you had it at 220 and now you finally decide, well, I'm going to drop it to 200. And now all of a sudden the market's at 190 and the house is worth 190. You're still 10,000 above it on there. And you're kind of chasing it down at that point instead of getting ahead of it as well. So it's really important to have both of those correlated together. That is so, so important. And it's just hard as a seller sometimes to kind of go through and the grip that as well, grasp that. Because obviously you want top dollar, but as much as you might think you might be able to get for your house, if the market and buyers say otherwise, you can hope for that all day long, but there's not a buyer out there that's necessarily going to do that. So unless you get really, really lucky and you win the lotto, but we don't do this strategy wise as trying to hope you win the lotto. We advise you based on what the market's showing, what the market's doing right then. And then as we watch the market, as we have it out there and it's on there and we start to watch to see what's happening with the amount of views that we have, with the amount of showings we have requested, then we can kind of gauge too a little bit more specific because we kind of start off with these broad spectrums on here because I can't just take a house and say, hey, unless it's a townhome that's the exact match of another one or a single family home or whatever else. And that rarely happens because even if it's in a cookie cutter neighborhood, somebody's got granite countertops, somebody's got a black colored paint that they've got in the bedroom. There's all these different things that go into this that manage into it. That doesn't just make it a cut and dry, like you're buying a brand new home and it's a spec home or it's just a track home out there where every single one is the same. That's so much easier. Like, you know exactly what that house is worth. It's very different when you've got folks looking in and there's lots of different options and possibilities out there. That's when we're able to narrow it down even more based off of what we've seen. If we have a ton of showings right off the bat on there, we know, like, hey, we probably hit a sweet spot on this. Let's watch to see what happens. If we have no showings that happen on it for the first 2 weekends, that's the market telling us like something's going on. Either the market's completely come to a screeching halt and there's no buyers out there at all, which is very, very rare, or it's still priced at a point probably because we've got the views. We can show the views. Buyers are looking at it, but nobody's asked to see it because it just hasn't reached their price point of what they're looking at. We need to make an adjustment quick. We don't want it to sit too long at that because the market, especially if it's in a softening market, is going to continue to get worse and worse. You don't want it to be 3 months from now when the market could be three months worse than it was today. On there, today's market is the best market to actually get the home sold. So I hope that kind of gives some insights between the two. I know it's difficult as a seller, especially right now, but in any market, it can be difficult as you're going through and you're looking through that. And what I'm just doing is being very transparent with you, what we see and what we deal with on a daily basis as we work through that process too. And we're looking at these different things. And it's the seller that's willing to be able to move the quickest, to be able to make those adjustments on there, that is going to get the house sold the quickest as well. And maybe you don't need to sell the house. And that's perfectly fine too. Everybody has a bottom line that I'm not going to sell the house if it goes below this. I get that on there. Doesn't mean you need to fire sell the house. Now, some folks might have to sell the house. I had to sell my house in Hawaii and we literally lost over $100,000 in the house. We had to sell it because we were getting bled dry having to pay 2 mortgages. And I tried the renter side and they trashed the house on there. And I wasn't willing to go through that again. I just couldn't emotionally handle that after the amount of work and time we put into it, what they were doing to destroy those homes. I just couldn't do it. And we lost over $100,000 on that home when we sold the house. I've been there. I know and understand that. But that's the market that decided where the value of the house was. Because if there's not a buyer out there willing to buy it at that price point, then you're not going to sell the home. So, and that's where it's important to know and understand. You can get drawn through this long process of being on market, but if there's not a buyer out there to buy it, there's a market where somebody will buy it. And it's finding that. And it's, do I need to sell? Do I not need to sell? If you need to sell, then we need to find that price point and help you get sold on there. If you don't, just know you're making that conscious decision on there too. So I just want you guys to know and understand that, because we care a lot for you. We definitely want to make sure you help reach your dreams and what you're looking at doing, but we have to be realistic and working, strategizing with that as well. We're not there to be your best friend to tell you everything you want to know. We're there to be those professionals that help you strategize in a market, selling your biggest asset so that way you can get maximum money for it in today's current market on there. So hope you found this video helpful. I hope that some of you kind of take this for heart. Whether using us as not as your listing agents, that's fine. It's definitely things you need to look at and you need to think about too. Now, we would love to help you list and sell your home, and we have these conversations with you as well. But we just want to make sure you guys are seeing and understand this, so you've got some realistic expectations on it. There's that thunder. So real quick before I sign off, I just want to say, if you got any real estate questions whatsoever, buying or selling here in the Pikes Peak region, we are your local real estate experts, James E. Mountain Homes team, and you can call us or text us at 719-266-2725. You can also email us at info@jdmrt.net. We'd love to get back and help answer those questions for you. Even if you're just out here visiting, we don't care. Just call and ask. That's what we're here for. We'd love to be your local resource. Also, don't forget those two resources down below, the Buy Local guide and that relocation guide. And don't forget, hit that subscription button and that notification bell. That way you get notified every time there's a new video that comes out. I can't wait to see you guys next time.